Clock shows it's time for us to get started here at 3:30, so I'd ask for roll call, please.
Vice Chairman LaBeach,
Here?
Commissioner Avery,
Here.
Commissioner Bell,
Present.
Commissioner Berube,
Here.
Commissioner Crawford, Commissioner Goodness,
Here.
Commissioner David, absent, Commissioner Macon,
Here.
Commissioner Provo, absent, Commissioner Segee,
Here.
and Commissioner Templeton.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, everyone was sent the minutes of our last meeting from February 14th, 2022, and you have those in your packet. I'd ask now for any changes, any corrections, or a motion to approve these minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes?
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. And the minutes are approved. Okay, we'll move into our regular meeting. Our first item is PZ 2021-431. It's a request for a certificate of demolition to demolish a house. Applicant's the City of Beaumont, and the location is 2019 Pecos Street.
Boyd Meyer, building official, requests a certificate of demolition for the house located at 2019 Pecos Street. According to the inspection report, this structure was originally tagged on September 16th, 2021. The structure has mold throughout, and the floor is rotting in many places. The roof would need to be replaced due to the deep hole in the middle of it, including the rotted eaves and soffit. The owner has signed a demolition consent form and does not owe taxes. Based on the extensive repairs needed for this structure, the building code staff is recommending a raise order. Planning staff recommends approval for this request. This is the front elevation. This is to the side. The eaves. Windows. Floors. And then the mold throughout the home. Exposed pipes. And then the red tag itself. And we do have the demolition assistant here.
All right, do we know who the owner is of this building?
Yes. It is the Gulf Coast.
Gulf Coast Electric.
Yes.
When was the last time it was inhabited? Don't know. Long time.
Oh, sorry. As far as I know, it's been quite a while.
This may be, I may be asking the wrong person, but this is a very well-known, well-respected business in Beaumont. And my question is, why are they asking us to use taxpayer money to tear down a building that they're more than capable to tear down?
Exactly what you said. They're a taxpayer like everybody else. So taxpayers do ask for us to tear down houses. There are taxpayers that can't afford it and can't afford it. We don't discriminate against our taxpayers. If they ask for it to be done, then it's something that we do.
All right.
Well, who's Delancey Wood? That's them.
No, that's me.
Okay, but where does it say, right, where does it say who owns it on our packet?
That part I don't know.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, good. Okay, I thought I missed it.
Yeah, it doesn't. But it is Gulf Coast Electric. I can get the exact
Wow.
name from JCAT if you'd like me to.
I believe it's
There are many of us that are
WSW
well,
Enterprises.
we know who owns the business.
Okay.
Now, is there a lien put on the property after demolition, or is it just a wash?
No, the city of Beaumont only puts liens on commercial properties. We do not we use grant money and general funds to tear down residential, and we do not place liens on the property.
Okay, so this is a grant-funded project.
We use grant money and general. It depends on where it falls.
So what happens if we turn this down, then what will happen?
We'll take it before city council. And if they choose to approve it, then they can approve for us to move forward with it.
So it's much like P&Z, our planning commission. They recommend an approval or denial, and then that recommendation gets placed before city council.
We've done this 50 times since I've been on the board. I make a motion that we approve PZ 2021-431.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of demolition. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
All right, we'll have to have ask you to raise your hands. So all in favor? All opposed? 4 and 4. I'll vote for approval of the project because I know it's gonna go through. So, even though I don't approve of it.
I don't
but-
approve really actually, but it's gonna go through the process, it's gonna get approved, and it's gonna be torn down at city expense. We just belaboring something that's gonna get approved eventually anyway. This house is a danger to that neighborhood.
Yep, so there is maybe some solstice in the thinking that we're
And the city's gonna have to figure
helping
this out.
protect some kids that may get into that building, so. Anyhow, we'll move on to our next item, which is PZ 2021-448. It's a request for certificate of demolition to demolish a house. Applicant City of Beaumont, location is 2169 South Street.
Boyd Meyer, building official, requests a certificate of demolition for the house located at 2169 South Street. According to the inspection report, this structure was originally tagged on September 30th, 2020. The structure is unsecure. The exterior of the home requires the siding and windowsills to be replaced as they are rotted. The interior damage includes sagging floors, collapsed ceiling, termite damage to structural beams, and exposed electrical wires throughout the structure. The owner owes $3,509 approximately in taxes. Based on extensive repairs needed for this structure, building code staff is recommending a raise order. Planning staff recommends approval of this request. We did get 2 letters in favor, 0 in opposition. One of the letters says, I call just about every month to code division for high grass. Also, I think at times homeless people are sleeping in there. It's a big hazard. Also, I'm not sure what that word says, had to be treated due to termites from next door. The other letter, we have a rental property, 2185 South, next door to 2169 South. Have to always call city to come out and cut the grass. When we call, the house is full of termites and is a hazard, bringing property value down in neighborhood. Again, we do have the demolition assistant here.
Okay,
And this is the front of the house. This is the door. Interior.
all right, any questions for staff?
Has the owner been contacted? Do we know who the owner is? Have they been contacted?
Yeah, on 11/13/20, the niece of the owner came in. He was actually incarcerated. He had since passed away while he was incarcerated. The niece came in 11/13/20 with her son, and they were going to have the paperwork transferred over, and they were going to repair the house, but I have yet to hear from them since that day.
No opportunity to get the taxes off.
Unless somebody purchases it.
Ain't nobody gonna purchase this.
Yeah, because it's the last time the taxes were paid were 2014, so it's been 8 years, and they've actually gone up since then. I guess they went ahead this last month and put the fees on there, so they went up a little bit.
Demolitions guy, can you tell us what it's gonna cost to tear the house down?
Does anyone in the crowd know? You can. Okay.
Where's
Yeah,
the-
depending on the square footage, they run anywhere between $3,000 and $4,000.
The demolitions guy's supposed to be here, right?
No.
No,
Thought that's what you said.
No, that's
No, that's
No,
her.
that's,
Oh,
that's me. I'm the
Delayed.
I'm the demolition
Learn
coordinator.
something new. Great coordinator. Give us an opportunity, how much it costs to tear the house.
Between 3,000 and 4,000 is about what they're running right now.
It's not a big deal. Okay, thank you.
right.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve PZ 2021-448 as recommended by the city.
I second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, it's approved.
It's heartbreaking to vote on something that's in the spare.
Yes, it is.
Listing, so.
It's a shame they get so far down the road
That's
before
the
these
issue.
things come up,
Well,
but
Yeah, and I think the last time this was tabled, and I'll just raise it again, that, you know, I would like to see collaboration with the county tax department, because, you know, if people, they put properties on the market all the time for sale, you know, there are people who would renovate that, who would take that project on, or who would pay to have the cost down, to have the house torn down and have the property. And so I would like, you know, I wish that there could be better collaboration with the county tax office to maybe put that on properties on auction, to at least give them a chance for restoration.
The problem with what we run into with that is, county usually only takes it for back taxes of 20,000 or more before it goes to auction.
Well,
They don't
that
take it.
contradicts what I was told by the department.
Yeah.
So I would like further research into that, because, I'd heard that there was not a minimum requirement on back taxes.
Yeah,
That it's more of a knowledge, they need to know what properties are having issues, what, you know, so
I can have the
that's-
city attorney reach back out to him because that came from him when he talked to them, but I'll have him reach back out to him.
Okay, I would like that, thank you.
Can you do that for the next meeting?
Yes.
Thank you.
all right, we'll move on to our next item, which is PZ 2022-70. It's a request for a certificate of demolition to demolish a house and a certificate of appropriateness for a new construction. Applicant's J.W. Turner Construction for Barbara Banks. The location is 2210 Laurel Street.
J.W. Turner Construction has requested a certificate of demolition to demolish the existing structure located at 2210 Laurel Street. The existing structure received substantial damage from the past hurricane events. Additionally, the applicant requests a certificate of appropriateness for a new construction that will be completed under the GLO Harvey program. The proposed home will be approximately 1,400 square feet in size. The construction methods employed would dictate that the house is to be constructed with a pier and beam foundation, with wood lattice, stucco walls, and windows will be 6/1 in appearance. The roof will have a 1-foot overhang with a pitch rising 6 inches every 12 inches of horizontal distance. Additionally, the roof will be 30-year architectural shingles and brown in color. Lastly, the porch column is to be a tapered craftsman style column. The front door will be a craftsman style door with a half light. The exterior body paint is to be Sherwin-Williams bird's eye maple and the trim to be Sherwin-Williams Roycroft brass. Planning staff recommends approval of both requests. This is the existing house. And then this is what they propose. So you can see the 1-foot overhang. The body is going to be stucco walls. Again, pier and beam foundation. And they do show that it'll be craftsman style column. And they show that the ramp is to be located in the rear of the property, which is one of the conditions we typically ask for, but this submittal seemed very complete as far as things that we like to see with new constructions typically. The applicant is here in the audience.
Any questions for staff? If not, will the applicant come forward? Please state your name and address for our records and just kind of give us a little overview of the project, please.
My name's Carl Gasson with J.W. Turner Construction. We are here on behalf of Ms. Barbara Banks and the Texas General Land Office.
This is a program that's been here in this area for quite a while, and it's people who have so much damage to their house that the GLO supplements the cost of replacement of their home. Correct. Anyone else have any questions?
Good looking house.
You know, the historic district is known for its porches. This doesn't have much of a porch on it. What would be, if we could kind of make it look like the front porch that's existing?
We would have to get approval from GLO to change the style of the house, if that's what's requested.
Because I would like to see the front porch with the railings and, you know, something to match. The house is nice,
Yeah.
but it doesn't fit the character of the neighborhood.
Okay, so it would be a full front porch. Okay.
What is the, I don't know who might know that, what is the square foot of the current house? The house that's there now?
I do not know at this moment, but I can look up JCAD real quick. That'll have the square footage. It's 2653 Liberty.
2210 Laurel.
I'm sorry, 2210 Laurel. That's the next one. Sorry about that.
The
2210
GLO
Laurel.
requirements have a maximum square footage number attached to it,
Yes, it does.
and are we at that maximum?
We are at that max.
Well, that kind of answers the
Yeah,
question.
it's based on,
It's based on an allowance from GLO for
And
someone.
that goes to your point as well. They include covered porches as well. So this would be max.
Because it looks like you're adding interior square footage by that bump out to the left of the front door.
Correct, which is a bedroom. Yes, sir.
If it were made to be a condition, I apologize, do you guys mind if I ask a question? If it were made to be a condition to have the full front porch, is that something that you can bring back to
Absolutely.
them? Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
When y'all are designing the new homes for, people, and I understand it has a lot of damage, and so the alternative is new construction. Do y'all take into consideration that it is listed in our spare program and that it was built in 1915 to try to have some effort on behalf of making it look like what it used to look like? Or do you just, do
So-
they pick out some floor plan and say, I want that house? So it could be built anywhere in town.
Right, the floor plans usually are chosen, in this case, they were chosen 3 years ago. So if there are conditional, like she was saying, if there are conditional, problems that the city or council would like to see changed, that's when we can change them. Otherwise, it's set for us.
So is there any way we can work with this program? Because, I think the program's great and it's needed, definitely needed. But can we set parameters with them instead of saying, here's your choice, pick one, that we say, in Old Town, you can only pick out of these, certain ones that have historic resemblance at least?
I can definitely get with our director and ask. I'd imagine too, if you guys want something set like that, if you communicate it to me, then I could place that as conditions
Yeah.
onto, further applications.
Because, it was built in 1915, it's in the spare survey, and then we're just gonna put some random house, no offense, that she just looked and said, I like that one. There's no consideration for the historical significance of the neighborhood.
Right. But that is just, the full front porch that you guys do see, I believe, and Carl, correct me if I'm wrong, that we can today place a condition on that if you guys say approve with such condition. Even if I didn't list that here, I believe that you guys can add conditions to the, ruling.
Does that cause a huge delay in you processing
Yeah.
all of the development and everything? Because you're gonna have to go back to the government agency and the whole thing and
That's-
start over, right?
That's kinda where I'm at with it. Design this house, Ms. Banks sitting back there, she's looking forward to starting this process with her house. And we finna arbitrarily start to change the design of this house. What are we doing?
We're keeping the integrity of the historic district.
Which is what our
These
purpose
plans
is.
were approved years ago.
Well, when do we start putting that parameter on? Maybe not this time.
Soon as
Maybe
we
after
get
they
with
talk
Chris,
about
we
it.
get with the city, we start to approve a particular design for Old Town.
I'm sure they already have those designs, we just need to, instead of letting them
Do
choose
we
from
have
20,
a
we can.
design for Old Town, particular groupings for Old Town already?
There's just certain things that we,
Have to get done.
right, that's within the historic ordinance.
So
And
we
this
had some
is-
parameters
So-
specifically set for Old Town and we just did not use
Yeah,
them.
there's been common, requests that we make, so, like, going back to this, normally, when we see
I know
them
about
come
the
in.
1 foot overhang, I got all that.
I'm sorry.
I know about the easements, the
Right.
windows.
Yeah, it's just like the normal
We have that.
conditions that we typically place on the GLO, applications. This application in particular, the reason why there's no conditions this time is because they met the conditions that we typically place on the elevation drawing as presented.
So it meets,
The typical, yes, yeah, it meets what we've normally approved in the past.
okay.
We've had several times that we put conditions on these
Mhm.
little houses, so it's not anything that's unusual. Here, particularly every time this comes to us, this is the elevation that's come to us.
Yeah.
And, we've tried to add a few design things like the windows and the column and the front door to replicate it, but I think the biggest problem is the cost to really replicate a craftsman style home is not available to the person that has this old craftsman style home and has the opportunity. Many times people are up in age and just don't have the money to totally rebuild it exactly like it's there. So it's, you know, it's always that balancing act of how do we do these things. You know, somebody came to you and said, here, I can put you in a brand new house, and the, you know, GLO is helping pay for it and those kind of things, and you're in a low income situation, then
You take it.
you're gonna, you
Well,
take advantage of it.
the front elevation would be more costly to do on the new construction than on the original because of the 3 different pitches on the roof line. Where if they came off with the straight and put the porch underneath, it would be a lot more cost effective than the design they have here. So I can't see that being an issue on cost. This is definitely gotta be cheaper.
Well, there's a limitation to square footage and there's a limitation to how much they can spend on the house.
Yeah, the limitation is, I believe, they're allowed to go 15 or 20% larger than what their home is at current.
I'm unsure of that, but Carl may know.
I think it's about 15%.
Yeah, so that's what that, I'm assuming that's what that bump out for that bedroom is, to go to the max of their allowable.
This is the largest 2-bedroom, 2-bath plan that GLO has put in place.
So right there, that's telling you, if you tell them to increase the square footage with more porch, then it's not gonna be in the program. It's not gonna be acceptable to the program. I hate to see these old craftsman homes go too. I really do, but I understand what limitations individuals have and try to take consideration of that too, so.
How many people are currently living in this home? Two. So a 2-bedroom, and you're still doing 2-bedroom, they're just larger bedrooms, I'm assuming.
It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay.
Any other questions for our applicant? Thank you.
Thank
All right, I'll open it up for discussion or a motion.
I make a motion that we approve PZ 2022-7.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, it is approved.
So are we still gonna take a look at that other option? We're gonna talk to someone about the spare area? Good, thank you.
All right, our next file is PZ 2022-71, a request for a certificate of demolition to demolish a house and a certificate of appropriateness for a new construction. The applicant is RM Quality Construction LLC for Thomas Verrett at 2653 Liberty Avenue.
RM Quality Construction has requested a certificate of demolition to demolish the existing structure at 2653 Liberty Avenue. The existing structure received substantial damage from the past hurricanes. Additionally, the applicant requests for a certificate of appropriateness for a new construction that will be completed under the GLO program. The proposed home will be approximately 1,357 square feet in size. The construction methods employed would dictate that the house is to be constructed with a pier and beam foundation, horizontal 6 1/4 inch hardy plank siding, and windows will be 8/8 in appearance. The roof pitch will rise 6 inches every 12 inches of horizontal distance, and the roof will be 30-year architectural shingles and black in color. The front door will be a 6-light paneled door. Lastly, the porch column is to be a tapered craftsman-style column. The exterior body paint is to be spelt sage. The trim is to be snowbound, and the doors and shutters are to be fine wine. Planning staff recommends approval of both requests with the following conditions: that the roof overhang shall be 12 inches. This is the existing structure to be demolished. And this is the elevation. We do have the applicant here. Oh, and this is the exterior colors that they would like to be approved today.
All right, any questions for staff? If not, if the applicant would come forward, please state your name and your address for our records.
Good afternoon, my name is Nick Sabrino. I'm the pre-construction coordinator for RM Quality Construction, based out of Conroe, Texas.
So is this basically probably the same as our last case? You have an applicant that has secured GLO participation in this?
Yes, sir, and it is likely exactly the same floor plan. How the GLO actually determines floor plan availability for applicants is depending on how many people live in the home. They have what's called an AGI worksheet where they calculate how many people live in the home, what their incomes are, and if they have any dependents. And with that, we are given a list of options as to what they can select. This specific floor plan is the largest 2-bedroom option that we do have. This applicant lives alone, so he was only approved for a 2-bedroom. And within those options, we calculate what will fit on his lot and also depending on the applicant's preference. In this case, he wanted to go for the larger home. With each individual floor plan, there are 3 individual elevation options that he can select from as well, and that's how we arrived upon this elevation as well.
Good information, thank you.
Any, excuse me, 6/6s?
Yeah, I guess that's just part of the plan.
I think in this area, and because of, let me go back and look at the, I'm sorry, 8/8. What's on the house, it looks like it is 8/8.
6/1.
Are there any other
It's hard to
pictures of
tell.
the house other than the front, or is that all?
No, ma'am.
Do we know what the, I'm sorry, going back to staff, do we know what the windows are on the existing house?
It looks like it's 8/8 or just 1/1, but I believe that it's 8/8 on
I think I can see.
this one.
Yeah,
It looks like there's
8,
more lines there.
okay,
Um,
so it's matching up with the existing house. Tough getting old. Any other questions for our applicant?
The existing windows are 1/1.
The existing
Yes, sir.
windows are 1/1. Anybody have an objection to the 8/8? Have an objection in this particular one?
As the process was presented to us by the GLO, you folks are essentially our first stopgap. If there are changes that need to be made, those will be re-presented to the GLO, and they do have a level of accommodation that they can make. The GLO does not want to come to these communities and force something upon the applicants, force something upon the cities, so they do have some leeway. They actually do have a dollar amount cap that they are willing to flex within, and more than anything, we as the construction company are here for our applicants. Thomas Verret is an excellent man that has lived in Beaumont his entire life. This home was purchased by his parents, and it's pretty much his entire legacy. He intends to let that legacy live on through a new home, and he knows that we're here to accommodate you as much as we are to accommodate him. Hurricane Harvey was many, many years ago. Unfortunately, we are barely at a point where we are able to come out to certain people and actually help them. But now that we are here, we want to do it the correct way.
Good answer.
Any other questions?
Are they wood windows or metal windows?
We use vinyl. Because of the energy efficiency standards that we have to meet, we use double pane vinyl windows.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. All right, I'll open it up for discussion or motion.
I make a motion that we approve file PZ 2022-71.
All right, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, it is approved. Thank you. Our next file is PZ 2022-75, request for a certificate of demolition to demolish a house. Applicant, City of Beaumont. The location is 2254 Liberty Avenue.
Meyer, building official, requests a certificate of demolition for the house located at 2254 Liberty Avenue. According to the inspection report, this structure was originally tagged on February 10th, 2021. The exterior of the home requires the siding and soffits to be replaced as they are deteriorating. The structure is secure, however, there are exposed electrical wires. The owners signed up for the work program, allowing 150 days to make necessary repairs to bring the structure into compliance with current codes. However, the only work ever completed was a few windows being replaced. Lastly, the owner owes approximately $60,000 in taxes. Based on the extensive repairs needed for this structure, building code staff is recommending a raise order. And planning staff recommends approval of this request.
All right, any questions for staff?
Does it looks like garage apartment or whatever, does that go with it also? The side building?
I want to explain some stuff real quick. Okay, the new owner who bought it in March actually came in on Friday. This was already on the P&Z. I am fine with giving him a 90-day extension to make some repairs, but he signed the work program on April the 30th of 21. So we did an inspection on 8/1 at 90 days. We did an inspection on 10/1 at 150 days. I gave him a 90-day extension at that point. So he's had until 12/1. And then from 10/1 till now, he has done nothing. So as I was looking at his permit and what he applied for in his CA, they don't match. So I would like, he is here, for y'all to make specific what you want done with the windows, because he went ahead and changed the windows out with no permit, no CA. Then he came back and got them at that point. But he has put in there that he's only changed out 6 windows, and it's been way more than that.
We can make recommendations, but we would have to come back for actual approval. I would have to run it as a news notice.
So these windows are not consistent with what were there before?
Right, they're not original. Or
Well, I
some,
know, but are they similar style? What style was there before?
I believe the side, if I can go through these pictures, will show the style that they were.
She's okay with giving them more.
I want to say it was well. I wish it didn't cut
Yeah, I
off right
see it.
there, because that could probably show more, or even right there showing a bit more than the 6 or the 9/1. There were lights at the bottom. Would you guys like for me to proceed showing you the
Yes.
damage to the home? These look to be original up here, but they are boarded down here.
But those on the end look to be.
9/1,
I don't see
yes.
that.
I'm sorry, the owner is here.
Do you know if the windows that he's been replacing, are those 6/1s? Okay.
Yeah, this is an example right here. And then right here, this is 9/1. so it looks like he's, done a mix.
He's got a long part to it.
Really inconsistent.
I think it's the size of the opening.
Yep.
It's varies based on the size. of the
And you
opening.
said there's $60,000 in back taxes
So
owed?
that's 12.
It's kinda hard to fit something.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Since the new owner bought it, what's owed right now is $1,737.05.
So
They
he
had to bring
caught it up
current
almost.
before they could buy it.
It's a lot of money.
All right, you said that the owner is here in the audience? Okay. Would you like to come forward? Please state your name and your address for our records,
He didn't put a lot of money.
and tell us what your plans are for the house.
You can take your mask off, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. I live on 11 Route Street in Beaumont. And the thing is that I'm
What's your
selling-
name, please?
Excuse me?
What's your name?
Andres Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm buying the house for Stella. And I'm just doing a high payments, and I don't have enough money to repair the house right now, but I will fix it for the next 3 or 4 months if they give me the permit. I will finish it. I'm gonna start working. I'm just been behind on work. I don't been working very good, but now I will fix it if they give me the 150 days or
So you plan to live in the home?
no. I got a few properties.
Okay, so you're fixing it up to rent it
Yes,
for
sir.
rental property?
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay.
Is
And
that-
to answer your question from earlier, no, the garage does not go. There are actually tenants in it. This is the one that Estella went owned that actually caught fire. So they had to move the tenants out, but that's why we only tag that. Usually we don't leave accessory structures, but they were still in the back.
Is this a single-family residence, or is it a apartment?
It's a,
building?
it's a quad.
It's a quad, okay.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
You've had a few extensions already.
This been like that when I buy it. It's
No. You've had several extensions.
Oh, yes.
Now,
Just for-
are you sure you are going to be able to finish this house?
Yes, sir. If they give me at least 90 days, I will.
Oh,
I
I'm just
promise.
asking you.
I promise you. I will finish.
Okay, a promise is a promise.
Yes, sir. It's the last 2 times they give me only 60 days, and I wasn't very good. I don't been making good money.
One more question. You have the windows. They don't match.
Okay, so I take it down.
Okay,
Okay.
my questions are,
Now, you understand that if we give you the extension and you don't complete, they tear it down and you
Yes,
lose
sir.
all that money.
Yes, sir. But at least 90 days? Can I get a permit for 90 days?
Well, right now, that would be handled through Ms. Delancey when after this meeting. But right now, what's on the agenda is to potentially demo or approve demolition,
Okay.
or deny. So if you guys want, we could table, or
Yes.
we could proceed however you guys would like.
okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, I'll open our discussion. I particularly like to see somebody to take it on
Yeah.
and get it back as
Yeah.
tax-paying property. It's a neat building, and I think that I'd like to try to give them another opportunity to,
I'm
work on
gonna
it.
follow your lead. I recommend that we deny demolition this permit PZ 2022-75.
Second.
we have a motion and a second for denial of the demolition of the house. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? All right,
I have a
we'll
question.
give you,
Excuse
Just
me,
bear.
hold on. What happened to the 60,000? He bought, there was 60,000 owing on it. He bought it and it just went away.
No,
he paid
they
it.
said that all that's owed on it right now is probably the current taxes, the 1,700.
I'm sure Estella paid for it. Estella went, the lady that owned it before him probably paid off the taxes and then sold it to him.
Ms. Delaney, I suggest you give them a little more than 90 days.
Yeah.
Like-
We're gonna start with 90 days because in the last 90-day extension, he did nothing.
Well, that's why I would.
So I'll start with 90, and because if I give them
Too long.
I
then
agree. Okay.
so I do
Well,
work with them.
you
I'm not
kicking it
gonna
around in your world, not mine.
right, but I just wanted to still bring it so y'all know what's going on with it, so it's not a shocker if he doesn't get it
You in
finished.
your world, not mine. Like, I'm gonna mind my business and count the money in Jefferson County. That's what I do.
I will work with him though, I
Mind my
promise.
own business.
All right.
I have a question too.
Yes.
And I don't know what the proper procedure of this would be, and I'm looking for guidance there, but I would like, if possible, whenever demolition things are brought before us, if in our packet, there could be, it could be documented, like what attempts have been made, who the owner is, or what attempts have been made to the owner, or what response the owner has given, so that we have that to review ahead of the meeting.
Is that possible? Just a little
Yeah,
bit more
that's possible.
information?
We can do that.
All right, the last thing on our agenda is the Historic District Code Enforcement Report.
All right, I have your monthly report for the Historic District. There were 2 cases closed, 5 new charges filed, 4 certificate of appropriateness, 13 new historic violations, 1 historic reinspection, 3 HLC review inspections, 8 JV, junk vehicle, new violations, 2 stop work orders, 8 JV reinspections, 1 tag for JV, 1 48-hour reinspection, 1 owner compliance, 4 new litter violations, 16 litter reinspections, 8 new weed violations, 13 weed reinspections, 7 weed city compliance, no weed owner compliances, and 3 zoning reinspections. And that concludes the monthly report.
And that's all you did this week? Well, we appreciate, any questions?
I just have a comment. I noticed that, one with all of the stuff in his yard, that he's really cleaned that up on, 10th Street. Is that 10th? Yeah. So, good job on that. But what about, did you ever find out about the tree that's laying crossway in the lot next to it, adjacent to it? Okay. It's an empty lot that has one huge tree, just dead tree laying in the middle of it. No?
I was hoping we could get it in on demolition permit.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you, yeah, 'cause it's a great lot, and the house directly across from it has just been renovated, and it's got a lot of work that was done into it, and it's just listed for sale, and it's the cutest house, and then the lot, so if somebody's coming to the neighborhood to look and they wanna invest and move into Old Town, it's very discouraging to have that. It's been dead for at least 2 years.
Nobody needs any firewood, huh?
No. One other business outside of this, but this year, starting on the 24th, I'm going to be the fair chairman for the South Texas State Fair. And one of my perks is making tickets available for everybody to go to the fair. So I'd like to give you all a couple of tickets to go to the fair. So if you just come by before you leave, and I'll make sure everybody gets some tickets, and please come out and spend your money. It goes right back into helping people in our community. So look forward to seeing y'all there. Just, you just show up or call me and let me know that you're coming, and, 656-3500, if you'll let me know what nights that you can work, then I'll get you in.
Mr. Labiche, we need to officially adjourn.
Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll, have a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
I got some, thank you very much.